Talking about the internet this morning, Silver Surfers. How can so-called Silver Surfers, me included, keep themselves protected while they're on the computers or tablets? BBC Radio Merseyside's tech guru Dave Thackeray joins us now to offer his advice here. Good morning, good to talk to you again, Dave. The emails from Africa promising great wealth. I mean, it's nothing new, this, is it?
There are no Nigerian princes seeking sanctuary in your bank account. Cialis won't turn you into Casanova. We've got to face facts. It's funny, isn't it? If it wasn't for people, the world would be a safer place.
You're right. And there's the phone calls, too. Someone claiming to have... we've checked and there's a virus on your computer. It's often a lucky guess if you do have a computer, and offering to clean it by taking control of your computer for a fee.
Yeah, this is impossible. It's happened so many times to Mum and Dad. That gets to the point now where he just puts a klaxon down the phone and lets them off. But,
what a good idea.
It's a pretty radical way of actually getting rid of these scamsters, and they are everywhere. It's frustrating. And you mentioned the email, the website. It's largely about not clicking on the wrong things, and it's about talking to the right people, and it's about authentication. It's about knowing who you're talking to, who you're doing business with, who's emailing you. But I have to say, something that's happened recently to a friend of mine, he got an email from somebody who purported to be a pal of his saying, listen, I'm in dire straits, I need you to send me some money. And in the email address at the top, it came from the name that he recognised.
Really?
So they're getting more sophisticated, and this ransomware we hear about as well, where people actually produce a spoof login for a social networking site. You go in and then all of a sudden they hold your account to ransom and do various nefarious things to try and get you to give money so that you can have your account back. It's manifest, and it really is a problem, but there are ways that we can stay safe, and it's fear-mongering on a grand scale, Tony, to be honest with you, and I think the great thing is that we have ways of fighting back, and that just means taking control back of our machines in the very first place, putting the right software on there to help us stay safe. You know, there's virus protection that Microsoft offers by default, Windows Defender, Windows Security Essentials, that even cover people who still use Windows XP.
Yeah, and a lot of these pieces of software come with your computer. You just need to tick the box to turn them on.
That's right. If you've got the latest version of Windows, it actually comes baked in from the start. You don't have to do anything. It's automatically there. But you're right. If you're on 7, you just need to switch on Defender, XP, download Microsoft Security Essentials. They're all free. But I think the best protection there is to just use a little bit of common sense. And also, right, let's look at it this way. No banks or shops will ever email you asking for your login details or credit card information, including your security code. If they do and they're legitimate, they don't deserve your custom anyway, because this is basics of business.
So just briefly, Dave, because we're almost done now, what one of the maybe 2 or 3 prime golden rules that you do not do when you're on the internet, whether you're a young surfer or a silver surfer like me and you?
Well, never say yes to anyone asking for sensitive information, such as usernames, passwords, bank details via email. That's the golden rule. You can always check out links as well. If you right-click on them and click on properties, it will show you where it's come from, and that's the same with email addresses. Very important to know where they hail from, because it could be something that's being asked that is quite straightforward. You're actually overly sensitive. So you can do that as a backup. But first things first, stick to safe sites and double-check that hyperlinks are from who they say they are, and you can generally test that. But listen, if you just stick to the sites that you know, the Amazons, the PayPals, the eBays, you use the address and you put the address in yourself into the address bar in the browser. That's what staying safe is all about. And ultimately, if you've got those virus protection software bits and pieces baked in, you can figure out a safe way out.
And never give anyone your password or your username. That's just...
not even you, Snelling.
Not even me, mate. Dave, you're a diamond. Thanks very much indeed. There's our tech guru, Dave Thackeray, and I'm sure we'll be hearing from Dave again in the not-too-distant.
Tony Snell, every weekday morning.
BBC Radio Merseyside.
Debbie Stevens is back.